Last episode I stripped the entire front suspension on this E36 and refreshed everything that I could. Now the only thing that's stopped it from going back together are the front hubs, and they are in bad shape. Today we're rebuilding the front hubs to answer the question, are they even worth saving? With that being said, let's get into the episode. I cannot believe that just come off. Get the dust cap off. To get the hub actually off, or the bearing actually off the hub, it is a 46mm nut, and you just have to knock out this tab here that's been folded in. And you can see we have that knocked out. Perfect. Now this is just pressed on. You can get a bearing puller, and with the three legs go out the outside and the one and two in the middle, but I'm just going to put one of these two tabs in the vise and hammer this from the back side. Now they're in the world's smallest vise. You can get in from just about behind the dust shield and hammer that forward. And that is our wheel hub off. So next is the dust shield to get off. It's just three 10mm bolts all around, which no my luck will probably snap on me, but we'll give them a go. They actually don't look too bad for the age of this. There is another dust shield in here for the back of the wheel bearing that's stopping this dust shield coming off. I'm going to either have to cut the dust shield, take it off that way, or try and just pry it over, because I'm not going to be able to get this off unless I can get behind it. Or maybe I can get the two off in one go. I'll try a few ways here to see which way it wants to come off. Shield one off. I'm going to use a bit of heat to get this bearing race off first, but before I do that I want to get this sensor out so I don't melt it when I start heating this up. And I already know getting the sensor out is going to be an absolute nightmare. Yeah, you can just see how much rust is built up all around this. There's no way I'm going to be able to pull that through. I'll try hitting it through from this side. Top of that sensor is starting to mushroom. The bottom is just caked in rust, and the back of it is just caked in rust. Finally. Oh, and it's through. Actually, only realising the ball joint nut is still in this more than I cut it off in the car. So we need to cut that off. Okay, last two parts to get off is this race here for the bearing itself, and then the dust shield behind it. I'm just going to heat this up a good bit, hoping this expands and it'll slide off easier. So the only thing left to do is to take off this rear dust shield, which should just come off quite easy. It's still hot from earlier, and that is our last part off. So with everything taken apart, we have the brake disc, dust cover, the rear dust cover for the wheel bearing, the wheel bearing itself, the rest of the back, the different bits of hardware, what is left of a sensor, and the hub kingpin itself. And for everything here, the only thing we will be actually reusing is this kingpin itself. This is with the one side done, now we have to do the other side, so everything we just done, we'll repeat again. Okay, so both done. Now we're going to take these two over to the sandblaster and clean up all this rust. We're going to have to be careful for all of these mating faces. We don't want to pit them too much to the sandblaster, but we will clean them up. The whole backside can be done, but we are going to have to mask off this area here that the bearing in the race is going to sit on, because we definitely don't want to be sandblasting that. With the air compressor going and the sandblaster going, it's a nightmare trying to film anything, so this is how they're going into the blaster. Protected the parts we don't want blasted, and I've just put the dust shield bolts back in to protect them holes from the media as well. So this is the before. The next thing you see should be all that rust taken off and this looking like a new part. That's the first one out of the sandblaster. Still have the second one to do, but it came out really nicely. Looks like a new part. I don't think there's anything more satisfying than sandblasting rusty old parts, and the before and after just always really good. So we'll get this one masked up, and we'll get the bolts in it, and we'll throw it in the sandblaster, and hopefully we'll have two that look like that in a couple of minutes. So now we have the two of them sandblasted and ready for paint. It's just about to get dark here, so I'm going to really quickly mask these up and give them a coat of epoxy primer just to seal the metal that's just been blasted. That's the first coat of the 2K epoxy on, and it's taken a lot more paint than what I thought just to get a bit of coverage, and I think it's all because of how much pitting was actually on the surface. The paint wasn't just lying flat, I was trying to fill in all the gaps. So I'm going to put on 2 coats of epoxy, let that dry for maybe about an hour, and then I'm going to come back in with 2K acrylic black and 2 coats of that, maybe 3, depending on how much paint to mix up and if it's looking okay at that stage. Just finished painting the last coat of the top coat, and as you can see they come out very well. I just have heat coming from below it right now to help it cure, because it is just getting night time here in Ireland and it's starting to get slightly cold. Although one thing I did notice when I was painting is, what way did I mask this section here? Okay, so we're finally ready to start putting this back together. These are a bit dusty from sitting around, but still looking quite nice. We've got 2 new wheel bearings, and we got 2 new sensors for the fronts as well, and then also 2 new brake dust shields. So, I also got new hardware for all the bolts to go into this too. So let's get the dust shields and the sensors in, and then we will get the wheel bearings on. It's clear, you can see the alignment for the sensor. We'll align with the hole, let's go through here. Thankfully fairly obvious. That is the 2 dust shields on. I think next we will get the wheel bearing. We'll have to probably tap the race down into this, and then we can put the bearing on top. I probably won't tighten the nut until it's back on the car, because it's 300 Newton meters or something like that it needs tightened to, so probably get that hand tight just to push the bearing down and then finish tightening up when we actually have it held in place on the car. I'm just going to give this a press, and then if I need to, I'll get a collar on that inside lip because it sits against the inside bearing, and tap it down really gently. Just going to try some body weight and see if I can get it to move first. That was way easier than what I was expecting. I'll come back and torque that when it's on the car. Oh, I forgot to put this on the bottom first. Okay, hopefully it comes off as easy as it went on. And of course not. So, give this 100 small taps and hopefully just knock it, kind of vibrate it loose. Okay, that was stupid. This is the problem with doing things and then leaving it 2 weeks while you're ordering parts. I'm gonna have to get something to top this down to fully seat it. Okay, I've got a brown press puller kit. And this seems to sit perfectly just in the inside lip of this. So we'll give it some gentle taps and get that seated. Like it never happened. Let's see, bet this won't go on easy this time around. Of course. No. So, back to where we were 5 minutes ago. Just hand tighten that for now. I won't press this in because it's always hard to get it out without breaking it, but I'll leave that sitting loose. It's one bearing on, we'll get the next. Hopefully this goes a little easier because I remember that back collar this time. Right, flipped over to the back side, and now we will get our wheel speed sensor just through here, and we have a new bolt to hold it in place. And if you think back to how old and rusted and crusted these were before, and now they're pretty much like brand new parts. Even though almost everything on it is a brand new part, except for the actual spindle at the back. But that is a lot better than what it was. So next is to get these two on the car, fully tighten this nut up, we get our dust shields back on, and then it is ready for the brakes. So now that all our brakes and everything on, we have got this torqued to spec. All it has to do is to hammer these two indents in, and then we can put our dust cover on. With the hubs rebuilt and everything back on the car, this front end is finally coming together. Next up is finishing the brakes and getting everything torqued up so this E36 can move forward instead of backwards. If you want to follow the rest of this build and see this E36 back on the road, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.